Hello, welcome all student. जय शिक्षण संस्था सातारा, सद्गुरु गाडगे महाराज कॉलेज कराड, 12th रोज project 2021-22 presented by Katkar Priyanka Sham. My subject is physics. Physics paper 2nd, topic number 15, structure of atoms and nuclei. Introduction of lecture number 5. What are the introduction of the lecture 5? Here is a law of radioactive decay, then half-life of radioactive decay, half-life of radioactive material, then average life of the radioactive species, then nuclear energy, uranium reactor, chain reaction, nuclear fission and nuclear fission. So law of radioactive decay. Material which undergoes alpha, beta or gamma decay are called as radioactive materials. That if we have one atom of the radioactive material, we can never predict how long it will take to decay. If we have n0 numbers of radioactive atoms, that is parents atom or nuclei of the particular kind, say uranium, at that time T is equal to 0. All we can say is that their number will decrease with time as some nuclei will decay. That is, materials which undergoes alpha, beta or gamma decays are called as radioactive material. Different types of the decays are occur by the material. It is called as the radioactive material. That if we have one atom of the radioactive material, we can never predict how long it will take to decay. If we have n0 number of radioactive atoms, n0 number of radioactive atoms of particular kind, say uranium, at time t is equal to 0, all we can say it is that their number will decrease with the time as some nuclei will decay. Let us assume that at time t, number of parent nuclei which are left is n of t. How many of these will decay in the interval between t and t plus dt? We can guess that the larger the values of n of t, larger will be the number of decays dn in time dt. Thus, we can say that dn will be proportional to n of t. dl will be proportional to n of t. Also, we can guess that the larger the interval dt, the larger will be the number of particles decaying in that interval. Thus we can explain again. Let us assume that at a time interval small t, number of parent nuclei which are left is n of t. How many of these will decay in the interval between t and dt plus dt? We can guess that larger the values of n of t, larger will be the number of decays dn in time dt. Thus we can say that dn will be proportional to n of t. Also we can guess that the larger be the interval dt, larger will be the number of particles decaying in time in that interval. Thus we can write dn is directly proportional to minus n of t dt, or dn is equal to minus lambda n of t dt, equation number 19. So here lambda is constant of proportionality called as decay constant. The negative sign in equations indicates that the change in the number of the parents nuclei dn is negative, that is n of t is decreasing with time t. We can integrate this equation as integration over n of t to n0 to n of t dn divided by n of t is equal to minus lambda 0 to t integration dt. Here n0 is the number of parents atom at time t is equal to 0. Integrations gives ln of n of t divided by n naught is equal to minus lambda t. or n of t is equal to n naught into e raised to minus lambda t, equation number 20. So this is the decay law of radioactivity. The rate of decay, that is the number of decays per unit time, minus dn of t divided by dt, also called the activity of t, can be written using 19 and 20 as a of t is equal to minus dn divided by dt, lambda n of t is equal to lambda n0 e raised to minus lambda t, equation number 20. At time t is equal to 0, the activity is given by a0 is equal to lambda n0. Using the equation 21 can be written as a of t is equal to activity a of t is equal to a naught into e raised to minus lambda t. Activity is measured in unit of becquerel in SI units. 1 becquerel is equal to 1 decay per second. Another unit to measure the activity is Curie. 1 Curie is 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 decays per second. Thus 1 Curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 becquerel. Half-life of the radioactive material. What is half-life of the radioactive material? We will see in that lecture. The time taken for the number of parents radioactive nuclei. The time taken for the number of parents radioactive nuclei of a particular species to reduce to half its value is called as half-life. T1 by 2 of this species can be obtained from n naught divided by 2 is equal to n naught into e raised to minus lambda t, t1 by 2 giving e raised to minus lambda t1 by 2 is equal to 2, or t1 by 2 is equal to ln of 2 divided by lambda is equal to 0.693, that is ln of 2 is equal to 0.693 divided by lambda. This is equation number 22. The interesting thing about half-life is that even though the number goes down from n0 to n0 divided by 2 in time t1 by 2, after another time interval t1 by 2, the number of parents nuclei will not go to half of the value at t is equal to 1 by 2. That is n naught divided by 4. Thus, in a time interval equal to half-life, the number of parents nuclei reduces by factor 1 by 2. Then average life of radioactive species. What is average life of the radioactive species? We have seen that different nuclei of the given radioactive species decay at different types. That is, they have different lifetimes. We can calculate the average lifetime of the nucleus of the material using equation 20 as described below. The number of nuclei decaying between time t and t plus delta t is given by lambda n0 e raised to minus lambda t dt. The lifetime of these nuclei is t. Thus, the average lifetime of these nuclei is tau of alpha nucleus is. Tau is equal to 1 upon n naught into integration 0 to infinity t lambda n0 e raised to minus lambda t dt. Lambda 0 to infinity integration 0 to infinity t into e raised to minus lambda t into dt. Integrating the above equation, we get tau is equal to 1 upon lambda, equation number 22. The relationship between the average life and the half-life can be obtained using the equation as t1 by 2 tau ln 2 0.693 into tau. Then nuclear energy. What is nuclear energy? Nuclear energy is the energy released when nuclei undergoes a nuclear reaction. Nuclei undergoes a nuclear reaction, that is when one nucleus or pair of nuclei due to the interaction undergoes a change in their structure resulting in new nuclei and generating energy in the process. While the energy generated in chemical reaction is of the order of few electron volt per reaction, the amount of energy released in a nuclear reaction is of the order of few mega electron volt. We have seen the mass of the nucleus is smaller than the sum of the masses of the constituents. Difference in these two masses is the binding energy of the nucleus. It would be the energy release if the nucleus is formed by bringing together its constituent from infinity. This energy is larger in mega electron volt, and this process can be good source of energy. In practice, we never form a nuclei starting from individual nucleons. However, we can obtain nuclear energy by two other processes: nuclear fission, in which a heavy nucleus is broken into two nuclei of the smaller mass, and nuclear fusion, in which two lighter nuclei undergoes nuclear reaction and fuse together to form heavier nucleus. Both fission and fusions are nuclear reactions. Let us understand how nuclear energy is released into the process. Nuclear fission. What is nuclear fission? We have seen that the binding energy per nucleon depends on the mass number of the nuclei. This quantity is measured of the stability of the nucleus. As seen from the figure, the middle of the weight nuclei, mass number ranging from 50 to 80, have highest binding energy per nucleon, and most stable while nuclei with higher and lower atomic masses have smaller values of Eb divided by A. The value of Eb divided by A goes on decreasing till A nearly equal to 38, which has the mass number of the heaviest naturally occurring element, which is the uranium. Many of the heavy nuclei are unstable and decay into the two smaller mass nuclei. Let us consider a case when a heavy nucleus, say with 230, breaks into two nuclei having a between 50 and 150. The Eb divided by A of the product's nuclei will be lighter than that of the parent's nucleus. This means that the combined masses of the two products nuclei will be smaller than the mass of the parent's nucleus. The difference in the mass of the parent's nucleus and that of the product nuclei taken together will be released in the form of energy in the process. This process, in which heavy nucleus breaks into two lighter nuclei with the release of energy, is called as nuclear fission and is the source of nuclear energy. Nuclear fission. One of the nuclei used in nuclear energy generation by fission of U-236-92. This is the half-life of the 2.3 into 10 raised to 7 years, and activity of 6.5 into 10 raised to minus 5 Ci per gram. However, it is being fissionable. Most of the nuclei have already decayed and it is not found in nature. More than 99% of the natural uranium in the form of U-238-92. Less than 1% is in the form of 235-92. So nuclear fission. See the animation of nuclear fission. So this is the particular two nuclei. When it will be disintegrated, then formation of the another one is converted into the two is converted into 4. So there are the different types of the fissions are produced into the nucleus. So this is the animation of the nuclear fission. Then uranium reactor. Nuclear reactor is an apparatus or device in which nuclear fission is carried out in a controlled manner to produce energy in the form of heat, which is then converted into the electricity. In a uranium reactor, 23592 is used as a fuel. It is bombarded by the slow neutrons to produce U-23692, which undergoes fission chain reaction. Neutrons are produced in the fission reaction shown in equation. Some reactions produce 2 neutrons while other produce 3 or 4 neutrons. The average number of neutrons per reaction can be shown to be 2.7. These neutrons are in the in turns absorbed by the other U-9235 nuclei to produce U-9236, which undergoes fission and produce further 2.7 neutrons per fission. This can be cascading effect in the number of the neutrons produced. Therefore, the number of the U-9236 nuclei produced can increase quickly. This is called as the chain reaction. We have seen that light nuclei A is less than 40 have lower EB per A as compared to heavier ones. If any two of the lighter nuclei come sufficiently close within about 1 FM of each other, then they can undergo nuclear reaction and form a heavier nucleus. The heavier nucleus will have higher EB divided by A than the reactants. The mass of the product's nucleus will therefore be lower than the total mass of the reactants, and the energy of the order of mega electron volt will be released in this process. This process where two nuclei fuse together to form a heavier nucleus accompanied by a release of the nuclear energy is called as nuclear fusion. So this is the, thank you all of you students, this is the end of the chapter 15 structure of atoms and nuclei. Thank you all of you.